In Japan, there's this quiet crisis unfolding, one that's all about profound loneliness and forgotten histories. But what if the solution wasn't just about more human connection? What if it was a new kind of technology, one designed specifically to remember? Let's dive into this story of lost legacies and a really fascinating AI solution.
So, let's start with a number, 58,044. According to recent police data, that is how many elderly people in Japan died completely alone at home in just a single year. This isn't just a statistic. It's a silent alarm that's ringing right across the country.
In this quote, from an analysis of that data, it really gets to the heart of it all. This isn't just about the physical loss of a person. It's about the total erasure of their memory, of entire lifetimes of stories that just vanish without a single trace.
Yeah, this kind of isolation has really become a silent epidemic. It's a challenge that goes way beyond just individual households.
This chart just lays out the sobering scale of the problem. That first bar, that's the 58,000 people we mentioned who died at home. The second bar, though, that represents a broader count, nearly 76,000 people living alone who were found dead in their homes. And the third bar, well, this is the really gut-wrenching part. Almost 22,000 of them weren't found for more than a week after they'd passed away.
So as you can imagine, this has become a recognized national crisis. The Japanese government isn't ignoring it. They've actually set up a whole loneliness and social isolation platform to coordinate a response. They're treating this like a top-tier civic emergency.
But the tragedy here is really twofold. It's not just the lonely deaths themselves. It's about the vanishing legacies they leave behind.
I mean, just think about what gets erased forever. Personal histories, those funny little family anecdotes, unique cultural knowledge. And in Japan, this is especially critical for these irreplaceable wartime oral histories from the generation that lived through World War II, a perspective that is now almost completely gone. It's like an entire library of human experience is being wiped out with every unheard story.
This quote, which comes from an observation of the elderly in care facilities during the COVID lockdowns, it just brilliantly illustrates the human cost. Isolation doesn't just make people lonely, it can literally strip away the will to live, and with it, the will to remember and share. It's like a slow-motion crumbling of our collective history.
So faced with this absolutely overwhelming problem, innovators are turning to a pretty novel solution, an AI story keeper.
The core concept is actually simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Imagine an AI companion that doesn't just make small talk. Instead, it actively follows the threads of a person's life story, guiding conversations in a way that turns these everyday chats into a lasting, documented legacy.
So how would it work? Okay, first, it engages. It proactively starts conversations with thoughtful prompts. Second, it listens, using natural language processing to understand the context and themes from these daily chats. And third, it preserves. It chronologically organizes memories, identifies key events, and weaves all those conversations into a cohesive and constantly evolving life story.
But of course, this idea doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's a whole growing field of technology trying to solve this, creating what's really a race to remember.
This table gives you a great snapshot of the whole landscape. So, in that first column, you see the different types of competitors. You've got clinical tools for therapy, memorial AIs that try to recreate conversations with the deceased, and legacy book services. But as you see in the third column, the approach we're talking about is totally different. It focuses on preserving the living through a story that's always growing.
And this right here illustrates the key difference perfectly. Most competitors, they create a static product, a book based on a few scheduled interviews. This AI companion concept, though, is all about creating a living conversation. This constant interaction doesn't just record the past, it provides real companionship in the present. It makes the act of remembering a source of ongoing connection. It's a relationship, not just a transaction.
So what's the future for this kind of technology? Let's take a look at the market and, the ultimate promise of solving such a deeply human problem.
Well, for one, the scale is just massive. The total addressable market for this kind of elder-focused AI companionship is estimated at $48 billion. This isn't some niche issue. It's a global economic and social reality, and it's tied directly to our aging world population.
Which leaves us with a final and pretty crucial question. In a future where more and more of us might live and die alone, could technology like this become more than just a companion? Could an AI become the essential keeper of our most human possession, our stories?